Hi, boom. Welcome to Up in Sports. Um, Come on here and start with my top three. So this is my top three teams. These are three teams I feel most confident about, or I'd have a top five, but I'd have a top 25 if I felt confident about 25 different teams. I don't. I have a top three because these are the three teams I feel more confident about right now, without looking at record predictions or doing record predictions, anything about like that. It's Texas number one, it's Clemson number two, and it's Florida number three with DJ Lagos is healthy. I think those are my top three teams, three teams unanimously. I think right now, you could throw in South Carolina if you want to put up four. You could throw in Illinois. You could throw in, but that may be it. But maybe another team or two. But yeah, these are my top three. I feel most confident about. That's why I only have a top three right now. Before we get into record predictions, and then in a couple of weeks, I should have my whole 25 filled out for y'all. But yeah, there's three things I feel confident about. Texas with Arch. I think Clemson with a Klubnik, and then DJ Lag if he stays healthy. Obviously, everybody's healthy, but he's had the one. He's the one that has the most concern because the style of offense Florida wants to play with him, and he's already had injuries certainly as a true freshman. But he's still healthy. DJ at three. Yeah, Florida at three. I like that, man. I really think these are the three best teams in America right now, man. I really do. Um, I don't. I think all these three teams are better than Penn State, better than Oregon, better than Ohio State, way better than Ohio State, way better than Penn State, way better than Georgia. I truly do feel that, believe that. So um, I'll leave it at that. But now on to the record predictions. So the first record prediction we're doing is Texas. So week one, we got Texas at Ohio State. I think it's a blowout win. I think Texas blows the doors off Ohio State and Columbus. Uh, I think so much so it puts Ryan Day back on the hot seat. I think Sark's gonna whoop him. Uh, I think that's an easy blowout win. I think people get caught up in Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith, but it forgets a team sport. So I think I mean the thing about that was a high. That, first of all, last year's Texas team was going to be one of Sark's worst teams, and that was Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Now was the best team they've had. Um, just top to bottom since Ryan Day's been. That's Ryan Day's best team. They want to freaking that. That's Ryan Day's best team, and Texas defense shut them down. And had Texas at a quarterback, Texas would be national champions right now. I just don't think Randy's out of a coach. I'm not gonna sit there and explain it too much, but I think that's a win for Texas. I got it as a win. San Jose State win. UTEP win. Sam Houston win. I will make a prediction right now. Florida will be the toughest, and Florida will be the best team. And I'm not because I don't want people to say, "Oh, you're toughest because they playing." It doesn't matter if we play Florida on Jupiter, and we played Georgia, Florida, and Ohio State on Jupiter. Florida will be the best team that Texas plays next year over Georgia, over Ohio State. I'm telling you that right now. Um, I think Florida um, will be the toughest game for Texas. On top of it, it's in the swamp. But I think it'll be the toughest game and it'll be the best team Texas plays. I still have a win for Texas in that one. So we can move on that. I got Oklahoma as a win. I got Kentucky as a win. Could be a sneaky game, especially if that Cutter Boyle kid. I like him a lot. If he's playing by then, could be a sneaky game. Mississippi State's a win. Vanderbilt's a win. I think in Athens, Georgia gets blown. We blow the doors off Georgia. Arkansas's a win, and A&M blow the doors off it and blow the doors off Arkansas. Everybody getting the doors blown off them, but maybe Florida. We might still blow the doors off Florida too. But I think it's 12-0. AFC Championship game, 13-0. I think Texas is the one overall seed, and I had them as like national champions this year. So I don't think it's much to say. But yeah, I got Texas at 12-0. Or 13-0 plus SEC championship game, and then 16-0 plus, because yeah, you get one, you get a bye week, so 16-0 all the way to a national championship win for Texas. I think the best team in the country by far. Not even close, really. I don't really think teams. I don't think there's any team that's really maybe really close to them, especially at the end of the season because this is a young Texas team. When these dudes start getting comfortable when they're playing, used to playing at this level, I don't think how anybody's gonna stop Texas at the end of the season, man. Next is Georgia. Um, so Marshall, I think, is a win. To 1-0. Austin Peay, obviously, Governor's crazy, is a win. Then they get Tennessee in Knoxville. Um, I know Georgia's had a lot of success with Tennessee, but I think Tennessee is a real quarterback now, man. Now, Joey Aguilar throws a lot of picks, and Kirby Smart's going to pull out his defenses and confuse him and that kind of stuff, but Dude, I mean, we've all seen the throws that Nico couldn't make. I mean, if Joey Aguilar could throw it 50, 60 yards, it just hit the deep ball. 'Cause it's the same thing I think Sark had a problem with Quinn. If you have a quarterback, these guys have a quarterback that can throw it deep accurately, I think Tennessee can blow the doors off Georgia. Um, and so I'm gonna have that's a loss for Georgia. I think Tennessee with Joey Aguilar and them win that game. Um, I think he adds a new element to the offense that Hendon Hooker had, veteran quarterback that's accurate, and mainly is accurate deep because that's what his offense does. They every play is like a deep shot for them. Um, and so I think Tennessee knocks off Georgia in Knoxville. That crowd's gonna be too much for them, man. Yeah, crowd's gonna be too much. Tennessee does a really good defense, or they have a really good defensive coordinator. Um, so yeah, I think it's just too much, and the offense is too much for Georgia, especially that secondary. They're gonna go after that. See Daniel Harrison and be ready to run. Um, I think Georgia plays Alabama at home in Athens. This is one that's been tough for me. This is one that's been tough for me. This one's been tough because I don't know who to pick between Georgia and Bama in Athens. But I'll be honest. Right now, I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it to Georgia. I think Georgia beats Alabama in Athens. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be down to the wire. But I think Georgia beats Alabama in Athens. And get their revenge for last season. So I'll leave it. I say that right now. I think they knock them off. Um, and then so right now one loss, and then you got Kentucky has to win. I think at Auburn, to me, sneaky game is going to be tough. Jordan Hare Stadium. I think if Jackson Arnold can be what Quinn Ewers was for Texas, they can. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But right now, I don't. I just don't believe in. I haven't seen enough from Auburn preseason to say they're gonna beat that they can beat Georgia. I'll give Georgia the win on that one. Ole Miss. Um, this is another tough one. Ole Miss is tough, but I think this Austin Simmons kid. I think he's like that, and I think he walks into Sanford and he gets a win. Um, I'm gonna give Ole Miss the win there. I think Ole Miss wins that, and then they get off week 2 weeks. I mean, look, Georgia could have a month off versus Florida. I think they would still lose. I think Florida's gonna be a blowout loss. At Mississippi State, I think that's a win. I think Texas is a loss, and I think Charlotte 49ers a win, and I think at Georgia Tech, I think that's a loss. So I have Georgia Tech loss, that's one. Texas lost two, Florida three, Ole Miss four, Tennessee five. So I have Georgia 8-5 this season. Potentially 9-4 if they get past Ole Miss. Um, but I got Georgia 8-5, man, and Auburn is another game that could be another loss too. I have Georgia 8-5 this year. I think 8-5 take a big step back. Now over to Florida. I think LIU Sharks win. USF Bulls win. At LSU in Baton Rouge, I think that's a win. At Miami, I think that's a win. Uh, yeah. At Texas. I mean, at home versus Texas, I think that's a loss. I will say that I think that's a loss. I think they lose to Texas in the swamp. I think they lose that game. Uh, at Texas A&M, I think that's a win. Michigan State win. Georgia win. Kentucky win. Ole Miss win. Tennessee win. Florida State win. I think. Well, we'll see because I think them and South Carolina 11-1. It might be a tie, but they be one of my teams to be in the SEC championship game. Versus which will be another loss for them, but still. Um, I think yeah. I think 11-1 only lost to Texas. So that's how I feel about Florida. I think they just roll through everybody else. I don't see anybody who can stop them. Yeah, I think people are gonna find out how good Florida really is this year, man. They're gonna be. I think they're gonna make a run at Natty. They may be in the Natty. So, um, South Carolina versus Virginia Tech, that's a win. South Carolina State Bulldogs win. Vanderbilt's a win. Missouri's a win. Kentucky's a win. I think LSU is a win. Oklahoma's a win. Um, Alabama win. Ole Miss win. A&M win. Coastal Carolina win. And then Clemson. That's the big game. Yeah, man. I don't know how anybody could predict this right now preseason. I'll be honest. I think it'll be November. I think it'll be Friday, November 28th, and we still won't be able to predict who's gonna win this game. That's the best way I could describe it. So I don't know how to predict. I think it's two top four teams, top five, potentially top three teams in America going at it. I think it's two top five teams in America going at it. In South Carolina, Williams-Brice Stadium. I think it's gonna be really hard for me to sit here and say who's gonna win that game. I'm gonna give it to Clemson though, because I do think Clay Clemson is a better quarterback. He's a better thrower of football. Um, so I put that as a loss, and I put South Carolina 11-1. Now it would be an out of conference loss, so that would still, if Florida lost to Texas in conference, and if Texas was undefeated in conference, and then South Carolina takes a loss, but it's out of conference, so they're still undefeated in conference. That would, and I see it now. That would put South Carolina over Florida. It's the championship game versus Texas, where I think Texas would win in a blowout fashion. But yeah, so I have South Carolina 11-1. I have Florida 11-1. I have Georgia 8-5, and then I have Texas 12-0. And then what I can do is, so those are my record predictions right now. Uh, and so let me go. What I do is I put them down here so y'all can see them. Okay, this is my top. Let me go make another dot, and then I'm gonna put all my record predictions right here in the SEC. So we're gonna do SEC record predictions, and then we could just we'll do Texas uh, 12-0. We'll do Florida. I try to rank them by the best, whatever has the best record, and then go down from there. So the worst, the best teams be at the top, worst teams at the bottom per conference. Florida, well, South Carolina. Okay, so South Carolina. Um, I had them 11-1. Okay, 11-1. I think I have Florida, and then I'd say, and then for the teams I've lost, I'll put their losses. So I say, loss, loss to losses. Let's say Clemson. Oh, loss. I just because it's not losses, it's only one. Um, loss Clemson. I put loss, lost. Uh, and then I'll do Florida. I had them at 11-1. And I'll say loss. Cause I had one loss. I have them to Texas, and then I have Georgia. Who I have 8-5 losses. Two losses will be Ole Miss. It'll be Texas. Who else we have for Georgia? We had Florida. We had for Georgia. We had Georgia Tech. Um, Florida, Texas, Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. Okay, and then Tennessee. I don't think I spelled that right. Tennn. Tenness. Damn, two E there. Tennessee. All these letters. Okay, Tennessee. Okay, so let me get this stuff off my screen. So these are get all that fixed. Come on, I just messed it up, bro. So today, tomorrow I'll do four more teams in SC, and then when you see the just. So right now I have SC record predictions. My four teams I did today was Texas 12-0, so no losses. South Carolina 11-1 with a loss to Clemson. Florida 11-1 with a loss to Texas. And have Georgia 8-5 with losses to Ole Miss, Texas, Florida, Georgia Tech, and Tennessee. Um, so those are my record predictions, and I'm gonna keep everything here for the. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. So until next time, see you next week.